My wife, in fact, when she gets into a very serious fight with me, कभी-कभी गुस्से होके मुझे कहती है कि तुम ना अपना सारे इमोशन अपने गाने में ही डालो. तुम रियल लाइफ में ऐसे हो नहीं. They had Ahaan in the system because he was supposed to do a film with them in the past. But I saw his footage. I was not sure. And Adi sir kind of knew sir thing came and he was horrible. Even though at the same time there were other directors like Anurag Basu and Kunal Deshmukh and all who were very interested in her because of her performance levels and how good an actor she is. I've seen that same look in Emraan Hashmi's eye when we went to Heroes Theatre to watch it. I've seen that same look in Shraddha and Aditya Roy Kapoor's eyes. I've seen that same thing when Siddharth felt like a star after Will. I've seen that same look in all these people who have worked Kangana, where we went from on the road from one place to another to see every holding of us after Gangster. No, he doesn't believe that. He believes in shaping a personality and a voice in you. That's why there's a difference between what Anurag does, what I do, what Kunal Deshmukh does, what Vikram Bhatt does. We all have our own identity. Him and Shraddha are two people I can never cut off from my life. They'll always be a part of it. The film was significant to all three of us. So I think he's one hit away. I think, and I think Avarapan should do that for him. I wasn't offered it. It was Bhatt Saab who told me after Ashiki that you need to stop living off this brand. The success I got in Ashiki 2 is far more independent than what anyone can ask for, because I feel it was not dependent on any actor, any big music director, anything else. That was all mine. He has like, this is not what Alia has ever lived. This is just her acting. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Alia Bhatt, and I genuinely feel I can never ever misuse the relationship I have with her, being her cousin. Since she was like 6 years old, we knew she wanted to act. Picture. And she said, "Oh, what are you doing? What are you doing?" I said, "No, I'm just looking like I want to click a picture." She said, "No, you're clicking the wrong side," and then she put her dimple side out. And this was when she was, I think, 9 or 10 years old. I'm not sure.
Hi, my name is Jigar. You're on Times Entertainment, and today we are with Mohit Suri. Mohit, congratulations on Saiyaara.
Thank you so much.
I've been listening to the music. Like, my favorite music is the favorite song of the album is the first song which came out.
Thank you.
I actually even told the team that it's going to become an anthem very soon. Everyone who's been in love or wants to be in love or has had broken in love will feel that song completely.
I hope so much, because this song is not something that I just chose कि एक blockbuster गाना चाहिए तो try to make it like that and all. This is a song that जो कहीं ना कहीं पिक्चर की सिचुएशन से निकला है, पिक्चर के फीलिंग से निकला है. और मैंने अक्सर देखा है जब गाना ऐसा निकलता है from the emotional core of the film, वो अगर वो चलता है यानी कि पिक्चर की हेल्थ अच्छी है.
Yeah, true.
So I think
Now, what's with Mohit Suri and unrequited love or broken love? What is it? Let's say every director has a connection. Yours is with the broken love and unrequited love connection. What is it? Why do you explore that?
But you should ask my wife.
But you have had a proper love story.
Yeah, that's why my wife, in fact, when she gets into a very serious fight with me, कभी-कभी गुस्से होके मुझे कहती है कि तुम ना अपना सारे इमोशन अपने गाने में ही डालो. तुम रियल लाइफ में ऐसे हो नहीं. But I think for me, definingly, that love has its good times also, and people tend to celebrate only that. But true love is that even endures the bad times. प्यार होगा तो दर्द भी होगा, खुशी होगी तो बुरा भी लगेगा. So I just explore it a little more than other people do.
Yeah.
And I think it is a more complete package for love, rather than just selling what advertising sells you. कि प्यार हो जाता है, सब कुछ अच्छा हो जाता है.
But at least your love stories are like very regular, very common people.
Yes.
That's what I really like it. कि हाँ भाई ये मेरी कहानी हो सकती है, किसी और की कहानी हो सकती है. I don't have to think beyond कि ऐसी जिंदगी ऐसे क्या हो रहा है लाइफ की दूसरी.
But honestly speaking, आप देखिए कोई भी लव स्टोरी जो बहुत चली है, everyone has connected to it on this level only. मुझे याद है जब मैंने दिलवाले दुल्हनिया ले जाएंगे भी देखी थी, उस वक्त पे हर लड़की जिनके फादर उनको परमिशन नहीं देते थे रात को बाहर जाने से, वो भी अपने आप को सिमरन समझती थी. याद है? So I think love stories have to be connectable. They have to be identifiable.
Yeah.
And that's what makes them popular.
Okay, coming to Saiyaara and coming to Ahaan and to Aneet, you and newcomer are like a pair made in heaven in that sense. If you take Zeher,
Ji.
there was Imran's pretty much early on in his
Second
career.
film, third
Second or
film,
third
film,
film,
yes.
third film. Footpath Murder and
Yeah.
Zeher. Then there was Shraddha and Aditya with
Yeah.
They both had not worked, had not delivered
Yes.
successes. Then you with
No, there was
Ashmi too.
Kangana also in the second
Kangana
film
also in
after
second film.
Gangster.
Shiny was there.
Was
Now
there.
Ahaan
Yeah,
and
so
Aneet.
I've worked with newcomers a lot more than I've worked with really established people.
Yeah.
यार एक्चुअली मेरा ऐसा इंटेंशनल प्लान नहीं था शायद कहीं ना कहीं क्या होता ना वो लोगों को लगता है मैं म्यूजिक में बहुत अच्छा हूँ मैं एक्चुअली लव गाने में बहुत लव सॉन्ग्स में बहुत अच्छा हूँ और नॉट दैट आई हैव अ प्रॉब्लम बट आई वुड लव टू हैव अ डांस नंबर और बट शायद मेरी फिल्मों में वो है नहीं अगर आप बोला में बातें भी देखो तो वो रीमिक्स था ऑफ अ वेरी हार्ट ब्रेक सॉन्ग बट और लव हैपन्स at an age, first love at least happens at an age which is around your 20s or whatever, which invariably जो newcomers की उम्र होती है. So I just think it just worked backwards. कि जो ideas और जो content मैं बनाना चाहता हूँ just caters to a particular age, which maybe I have nothing against. I've tried to make a mature love story like हमारी अधूरी. So I cast for that at that time. But each film has its own requirement, I think.
Hamari Adhuri Kahani, I still listen to the music of it. I
Thank
think
you.
it's one of the most enduring, like it just survived the test of time, and I can still listen to it.
I just got a call few days back. It was 10
years of
yes, and that was it. I wanted to make a mature love story, which is a middle class mature love story, not so. And that's as a director, you should enjoy this. Now you can make everything then.
True. But you know, Mohit, when people take your name and it connect with music, like as you said, you make very good love songs. But is it a lot of also added pressure? भाई म्यूजिक भी डिलीवर करना है, स्टोरी तो करनी है, म्यूजिक भी और डिलीवर करना है मेरे को.
प्रेशर तो रहता ही है. प्रेशर तो पहली पिक्चर के बाद ही हो गया था. आफ्टर जहर म्यूजिक हैड रियली क्लिक कि कलयुग में वो डिलीवर कर पाऊंगा कि नहीं. प्रेशर आशिकी के म्यूजिक में भी रहा था कि आशिकी 1 की म्यूजिक तक लिव. तो हर पिक्चर तो बट द ओनली वे टू लुक एट इट इज यार दिस प्रेशर इज वेरी कंस्ट्रक्टिव प्रेशर क्योंकि आप बना रहे हो म्यूजिक इन द एंड ऑफ इट. इट्स नॉट दैट यू आर ट्राइंग टू बीट अ कलेक्शन और अ नंबर. म्यूजिक कैन बी लाइक्ड का फॉर्म चेंज हो गया है. पहले सीडी कैसेट्स होते थे, फिर सीडीज हो गए, अभी लाइक्स शेयर्स हो गए, हिट्स हो गए, स्ट्रीमिंग आ गया है, बाद में पता नहीं क्या होगा. इट जस्ट कंप्लीटली चेंजेस फॉर्म. बट मुझे याद है कोई ना कोई मेरी फिल्में याद नहीं है पर उन लोगों को वो गाने जरूर याद है, चाहे वो लम्हे बातें हो और इट्स क्या मुझे प्यार है और हमारी अधूरी टाइटल ट्रैक और यू नो तुम ही हो, फिर मोहब्बत, आवारापन म्यूजिक, आवारापन द फिल्म डिडंट डू वेल विद द म्यूजिक. So I think music has a different connection. So whatever endures more time will require more effort.
Yeah.
And if it requires more effort, it will create a pressure. So I've come to terms with it. But I enjoy this. It's like going to bat in a stadium without people.
Yeah.
Or batting in the stadium with a big crowd and now you feel the pressure. Slowly you start eating out of the pressure, I think.
Okay. Now with Saiyaara, how did you zero down on Ahaan and Aneet? Because like, was it your choice? Was it because it's a Aditya Chopra Akshay Vidwani production? They were producing it. So how was collab? What was it you who said no? I want these two, or was it collaborative decision with you and YRF?
Ahaan was someone who's in their system, and honestly, when I came with the script, I was feeling afraid to say that it is a newcomer film, and they asked me who I wanted to cast because being Yash Raj, they had the access to every star in the industry. But Adi sir was the one who said that my distribution team and everyone will be very unhappy or happy with me if I cast known people. But the fact is, if you cast unknown, your film requires new people. Although the distribution will be happy with known people, right?
Yeah.
But this script requires new people. Will you make it with new people? I said, I'd love to. But I didn't know, so will we be able to spend that much money on the film? And he said, I will do it. So, you know, I must give him and Akshay that credit for it. They had Ahaan in the system because he was supposed to do a film with them in the past. But I saw his footage. I was not sure. And Adi sir kind of knew it. So Adi sir told him that I'm going to tell him that he's not got the film. But so we went out on this. But he said, hang out with the boy or whatever. So I went out first I met him in my office. And the whole sir thing came and he was horrible. So I told Adi sir and Akshay that you all said he's like this, but he is full a good boy and this, that. That's not what my role is. Then they said, no, no, meet him again. So we went out for a very formal dinner. But I realized there was some spark in the boy. So then I told him, now take me out where you would go out. So he took me to a young nightclub. And we hung out till 3, 4 o'clock. But by the time it was late at night, I saw the character in him. So I think when the camera goes off and when you're not performing, that's when your real audition should start.
Yeah.
So I cheated him a bit that way, and that's how I found out the real person behind him. Aneet, on the other hand, was someone who was giving auditions with everyone, and everyone was talking about how she acts and how good she is, and I was just floored by seeing her audition. We took 4 months to find her.
Wow.
But I even know at the same time there were other directors like Anurag Basu and Kunal Deshmukh and all who were very interested in her.
Oh, wow.
Because of her performance levels and how good an actor she is. So hers became a different kind of choice.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what does a director do when did you expect it to take 4 months, 5 months, 6 months to get a casting on place?
No, I must give this credit completely to Shanu Sharma. Yeah. She didn't sleep. That she was just at it, like even from grooming Ahaan over the last 7 years, or even finding Aneet for this film. She's mothered them, shouted them, cajoled them. She's done everything to get these guys. Yeah, and what else can a director ask for? There used to be this whole process where a director had to do all this.
Yeah.
But I think now the system has changed a bit, and you have people like Shanu who give their heart to it. So I'm really impressed with this whole process.
It's like, so their age would be equal to your experience.
Totally, exactly that, to be honest. I can turn on and tell somebody कि मैं इस industry में तुम्हारे पैदा होने से पहले था. And considering I was one time when I made my first film, I was the youngest on the set.
True.
So I've come a long way. Yeah, I was 22 when I was making my first film. And at that time, some people could tell me that on the set when I was directing it. Today I can tell Aneet that probably because she's 22. But yeah, sometimes now the beta comes in the middle and it gets, sometimes when you're getting angry, it's like, ऐसा नहीं कर सकते बेटा. It comes out. And I never thought I could be that. But no, yeah, what I think I realize is the way you connect with them is the emotional quotient that they have. I think language has changed, technology has changed.
Yeah.
Like Aneet is now teaching me how to deal with Instagram and all.
Wow.
Yeah, and Ahaan teaches me how things go viral. Also, he tells me all these things, algorithm and all. Not that I don't know, but I just pretend to, you want to hear from these kids like how smart they are. But yeah, the heart still beats the same way. It still breaks the same way.
Yeah.
You have the same dreams. One of the most endearing moments was there's a moment in the film is when we are shooting a pre-climax scene where Ahaan's character comes backstage and there's a big digital screen which is the size of a theatre screen where his footage is playing from a previous show that he performs in. And he was supposed to not look at it and be disinterested and walk. But as soon as he entered the stage, he could never imagine himself like this.
Yeah.
And he kept looking at himself. I've seen that same look in Emraan Hashmi's eye when we went to Eros Theatre to watch the thing. I've seen that same look in Shraddha and Aditya Roy Kapoor's eyes. I've seen that same thing when Siddharth felt like a star after Will. I've seen that same look in all these people who have worked, Kangana, where we went on the road from one place to another to see every hoarding of us after Gangster. They all have the same feeling. The look is the same. It's just the technology has changed.
Okay. Now, as you said, when you were the youngest on your own set at the age of 22,
yeah.
Did you have to struggle for people to take you seriously? Like,
that time, yeah. For it? Hell yeah. And I thank Emraan Hashmi because he was the lead hero, my elder brother.
Yeah. But
he gave me that position and Mahesh Bhatt, I think. So I think that family of mine is quite unusual. Although you're the youngest kid in the family and all, if you're playing the role of the director, you're the captain of the ship.
Yeah.
So they will still listen to you.
Wow.
So I give them that credit because of that business or work ethic that they've created.
Nice. Okay, no, because these are in their 20s right now. Both of them, Aneet and Ahaan, are in their 20s right now. how do you make that your experience of 22 years simpler for them?
You have to see it through their eyes. Like, I remember I was making him do the shot in a particular way of how I had done it, and then I realized that that was what I would probably do with a Siddharth or a Aditya Roy Kapoor. But it was not landing on them. Then I remember when I did it with this Aditya Roy Kapoor and Ashiki, I had to unlearn what I had done with Emraan Hashmi. So what I had to do is I had to see it from their point of view and ask them to do it and then see what I liked from it.
Oh wow.
So I realized they have to come in. The fundamentals of the scene remain the same.
Yeah.
The angst, the possessiveness remains the same, but you have to let them do it their way. Otherwise, you will make them behave like people of the past.
Yeah.
So I think that's the one thing that, yeah, with new people you start learning again, which is a very enjoyable process. It happened to me 10 years back when I did Ashiki, and now it's happening again.
Wow. Okay. Now, Mohit, it's been 10 years you last did a film with Bhatt Saab.
Yes.
Kind of last film. So, has he reached out to you with Saiyaara? Has he spoken to you about Saiyaara?
I talk to him all the time. Even during the shoot, I speak to him. When I feel one. I messaged him on Father's Day also. I was in Japan because he had written a really nice article about his relationship with Raj Khosla Saab, which is a mentor and assistant prodigy thing. So I messaged him, and surprisingly, it was Father's Day. He sent me that article. I framed it in my office.
Wow.
We have that equation with Bhatt Saab. He doesn't get into the nitty-gritties of what your story is and what your character or what you do in your shot. He's not about the shot. He doesn't believe shooting is directing films.
Yeah.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't believe that. He believes in shaping a personality and a voice in you. That's why there's a difference between what Anurag does, what I do, what Kunal Deshmukh does, what Vikram Bhatt does. We all have our own identity. It's like he sharpens every diamond separately, a different polishing process for each of us, and then lets us shine in our own way. So my conversations with him are very different from because my experiences in life are very different from the other directors, and we are all slaves of what our experiences have been in life.
True.
So I do speak to him. I remember I spoke to him during there was a particular father-son confrontation scene in this film where Ahaan gets violent with his father, and I was a little afraid before the shoot because I was thinking, am I getting too dramatic for the kind of company that I'm representing today?
Yeah.
Because of the equation they have with their own parents, and and I was like, am I getting too dark or whatever? So I remember at 6 o'clock in the morning before the scene shoot, I called up Bhatt Saab. I didn't tell him anything about the scene, and I told him that I'm feeling afraid that am I getting too dramatic? Should I not be that way?
Yeah.
To which he said a couple of swear words to me, and he noticed that my DP profile was a picture of my son's hand in mine.
Yeah.
And I had forgotten that. And he said, if you have a picture like this as your DP, you can never shoot this scene wrong. Because you basically love that relationship between a father and son.
Yeah.
So go shoot the scene in however dramatic way you want. The basic emotion of what the director wants to do will be communicated rightly. So that's what Mahesh Bhatt is to me. He didn't ask what the scene also was about.
Oh wow.
He didn't ask what dialogue is. I was just told him I'm feeling afraid about this.
Is he ever a line spoken by Mahesh but not have swear words in it? कुछ ऐसा होता है ऐसा कुछ?
Well, I think with different people he's with me, he just has that. I don't think he swears with KD. I don't think Kunal Deshmukh, I don't think he does.
But how's okay? People now talk about sequels, part 2, part 3, part 4. I think you were the original sequel master.
Yeah.
You were who began it literally. Murder 2, Raj 2.
Yeah.
How do you look at the trend now? Because as how I see it now,
good,
I think we are overdoing it now.
Yeah, I think we are.
The
thing is, it started off with, when we started off sequels, there were marketing ideas. Like I must tell you that Raj, this thing was first stories. And then to sell it and all that stuff, they were called part. Like Murder 2 and Raj 2 and Ashiki 2 had nothing to do with the previous part.
Yeah, true.
And they were just called that to market it or whatever. But they were still good scripts by themselves in their own point, I think after that, then they just started, just to cash in on the title, people started making it.
Yeah.
So each to their own, man. I think there's no there's no really fixed process. Some people do it well. Contrary to what other people do, I think Gadar 2 has one of the best stories I've seen.
Yeah.
The stories are really good. And it's continued. So some people do it for the right reason, some people don't. I don't have a moral point of view on it. But I think a film should be approached as one thing that I want to tell this story.
Yeah. Wow. How do you look at Ashki 3? Technically, it's not Ashki 3, but it's which Basu's making.
I don't know
right
what
now.
it's called right now.
Yeah,
And
what Basu's making with Karthik and Sri Leela, right? I think Aneet was for this film only, if I'm not wrong.
I don't know if Aneet was the same film.
I guess
I guess so.
Basu for this film.
Yeah, Basu says a lot of things, but Basu making a lot of things also. Anurag is quite the guy. No, I really, I'm a fan of Anurag Basu. I've assisted him, and we speak also a lot. He was the first one who called me when he was doing the film also. And yeah, for me, Ashiki 2 was where it was, and I think right now, I don't know what the deal between, but I just realized that Bhatt Sahab isn't a part of it in some way, and for me, I think I need Mahesh Bhatt to be a part of Ashiki. I think what started off from his own personal life in Ashiki 1.
Yeah.
That's his own life. I mean, a lot of people don't know that's his relationship with Kiran Mami. And he bled a lot of himself in it. I remember when I was making Ashiki 2 also in the company, that company was only making thrillers like Raz and Jism and Murder and all that stuff. Jism, sorry, Raz and Murder and all. They didn't understand what I was trying to make when I was making that.
Really?
Film. It was only Mahesh Bhatt who told everyone, let him be. He's making the most significant film in this company. To not have him as a part of the franchise is actually kind of weird for me.
Yeah.
So, while Mukherjee is good for the whole business module and all, you need Mahesh Bhatt for the creative spine.
Yeah.
I mean, in the sense, not even if he's a part of it or no. He wasn't just there a single day on the set of Ashiki 2 or whatever. But just to tell me, beta tu bana apni picture. मैं हूँ सबके लिए लड़ने के लिए. You miss the guy.
Yeah, I think I know of so many women who fell in love with Aditya Roy Kapoor because of Ashiki.
Yeah.
I think it's crazy that the number of people who are still mad about him even at this point, 10 years down the line, 10 plus years down.
I was talking to him right now while coming here. He's come back. He was promoting for Metro and I'm promoting for mine, and he was talking to me on the phone and we're pulling each other's leg. Him and Shraddha are two people I can never cut off from my life. They'll always be a part of it. That film was significant to all three of us.
All three of you. True.
So we are really close, even though we're all separately, whether we work together or not. And that's what the power of a film is.
Yeah. True. But with Shraddha, at least you worked next again in House Girlfriend also.
I did work with him in Malang.
Yes, Malang also, right?
Yeah, that's his other hit film.
Yeah, other hit film.
So yeah, we have a successful relationship but otherwise also. But the first one was always important.
True. Your best relationship has been with your cousin Emraan Hashmi.
Yes.
How do you look at his career now? Because he had Tiger 3, he had Ground Zero recently.
So I think he's one hit away. I think, and I think Avarapan should do that for him. Because that is a film that if I emotionally invested in, he equally did. So let him cash on the best of that also. And I think whatever him and Vishesh are doing with the film, I think will be spectacular. I think so. It's about coming there one hit away and then you're back at this. And who doesn't have ups and downs here?
True.
Yeah.
But didn't you want to direct it?
I wasn't offered it. I think I was busy with this film. Man.
How's the equation with the Bhatt camp, with Vishesh films right now? Because it's been 10 years you haven't directed a film for them.
Yeah, and
even they got made that means
they just made Sadak, I think. Other than that, they've not made anything else after Hamari, I think. Sadak and this. So yeah, I think they've slowed down essentially, and if there is something good, I will do it. But the need to make a film should not be because of any other reason but telling a particular story. If there's something they do believe in together with me, and I feel they're the right people. Like for me, when I wrote Saiyaara, and I got this call from Yash Raj, who said they wanted to make a love story again. It was a no-brainer because I was that boy who was sitting in the theatre watching Yash Ji's films, watching Adi Sir's films, wanting to become a director for love stories, seeing those.
Yeah.
So when they came with it, I said there couldn't be anything better for this. If I had a script for Awaara Pannu, if I had a script for say Ashiki or whatever, then I would probably do it with them. But I don't.
You know, you also are like one of those directors who are branched out of Bhavat Camp. Like there's Vikram, there's Anurag Basu, there's you, there's Kunal Deshmukh also. How was it first, like when you took the first step out and made a film which was not a Bhatt Camp film?
Yeah.
How was that feeling? Was it like the security ring below has been taken off?
100%. I mean, it is. But yeah, isn't that a rule of nature? It's like you're born in a pride. You're a cub who's playing around. Then you become good at hunting.
Yeah.
Then one day you are banished. You're told to go out, and it was Bhatt Sahab who told me after Ashiki that you need to stop living off this brand. Now I'll be eating out of your brand, not me eating out of yours. You eating out of mine. And I went out and made Villain with Balaji.
Yeah.
I remember there was a point when he kept telling me, "I'll come and see the edit. You need any help? I'll come." And I remember telling myself and telling him, I said, "But sir, I know your help is all good and you only mean good. But whatever the fate of the film is the fate of the film. But I will not be able to cut that umbilical cord and the dependence on you if even outside I keep calling you to help me out with it."
Yeah.
And he said, "No, I'm proud of you," and whatever. And so that's how Villain happened. And it's all about growing up. Yeah, that's when I got married. Then when I have my own family. It's when you go and start your own pride. Then now today there's a group of like Sankalp. He's someone who I've seen as Sankalp Sadhana was an assistant, who second, third assistant, the writer of the film.
Yeah.
And I've slowly worked with him over the last 8 years for him to today write this film. Yeah. It's a big thing writing a film like this for the Yash Raj and stuff like that. Even though his father was a director himself. Mr. Sadhana who did Pyar Jukta Nahi and stuff like that. Vijay Sadhana sir. But he's not gone down that path. He actually made his own connection and worked with me, and today has reached wherever he has today. Now I have a group of my own, and one day he will be doing the same thing or branching out and making his own film. So I think it's a way of life here. And while it is the greatest thing a teacher can do is make the student independent of himself. That's what I think is a rule of life.
Mohit, it's been 20 plus years to your career and you've delivered multiple hits, Ashki 2, Murder 2, Ek Villain. Do you somewhere feel that people, like for example, when Mr. Hirani gives Munna Bhai like 3 hits, people like Raju Hirani or Karan Johar or Adi Chopra. Do you feel that somewhere Mohit Suri doesn't, like people don't see Mohit Suri in the same light as what you see as the big other names which I just mentioned?
I totally do, but I think that's got an advantage to work with the stars that you work with. I think they've all worked with like the bigger actors in the Khans and stuff like that. I haven't reached there yet because I've not, but that's not been what my aspirations were. I think most of these guys started with working their first or second films with
the bigger names.
Bigger names. Yeah. I've always, in fact, my first film after Zeher did well, I worked with newcomers in the second film. After Murder 2 did well, I worked with newcomers in the next film. So I think that's a different game and that's a different thing. I'm 14 films old, but yeah, I think everyone has, the success I got in Ashiki 2 is far more independent than what anyone can ask for, because I feel it was not dependent on any actor, any big music director, anything else. That was all mine.
Yes.
So I think I enjoy that process and I enjoy it. And when I feel there's a script I have which requires somebody which is a big name, I definitely would pitch it and see if I can work around with them. I think that's what changes the whole game for people, I think.
Wow. Well, I remember meeting you at Vishesh Film's office when Ashki 2 was when there was Mahesh Bhatt Saab, there was Bhushan, there was you, there was the
whole article about giving it to them and this that. Yeah, I remember that.
I was like, and then you also said that both had not delivered hits before, Aditya and Shraddha. You took a risk on them.
It wasn't a risk, man. I thought they were right for the film. It wasn't a risk. I think the industry kind of thought they were not successful or not. For me, I needed that person who'd seen failure. Because then it helped the character. Now that you see the film.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Do you also feel that kind of independence now with this film? Because you also have newcomers, like these are rank newcomers. Those at least
Yes.
they had worked before, but they had not success on their
Yes.
hands. So these are young, they're starting out fresh. And even now you have a bigger brand, like back then you also had Bhatt Sahab and T-Series. Now you have a Yash Raj. But you also feel that, but still it's your film.
Yeah.
It's Mohit Suri film.
Yeah. It does feel liberating, man, because you can shape them the way you want for your film. I'm not saying that the big actors that I worked with have not, but I could make out it was difficult to make Imran look very Sharif, as you say in Hamari Adhuri. Not that the guy is a really Sharif guy by himself.
He's very Sharif, man.
Yeah, genuinely, yeah.
So people always ask me that is Emraan Hashmi the way he is?
No, he's one of the nicest guys in the world.
Imagine people because his image is such that he's this grey character in most of his films. People ask me, "Sach mein aisa hai kya?" I'm like, "Bhai, is he
exactly?
I have not seen more Sidha guy in than him in the industry."
Exactly. So yeah, and I think they all did a very good job. Like even John breaking down and sobbing at the end of Villain 2 was great, but they wanted to see that big guy who beats up everyone, breaks everything, you know. So yeah, but what happens with newcomers is there is no reference, and you can have them as a clean slate.
Yeah.
And you can ship, and whatever said and done, the love looks more genuine at this age, which is kind of look off, I think, with them getting a little older.
Yeah. I think like if you now go back in history and see most film love stories are with newcomers only.
Yeah.
Like even if you say Fool or Kaate also.
Of Qayamat Se Qayamat, all love story.
Wow.
They were all in that age. So I mean, big things to say, but I hope I get even close to them.
But okay, now because Adi Chopra is presenting the film, it's under his production. So, and he's directed some of the biggest hits of Hindi cinema in that sense. DDLJ is probably one of the biggest hits. So when you meet him, do you meet him as a fan? Do you meet him as an inspiration director? Or how do you meet him? What?
So when I met him in the beginning, there was definitely that whole fanboy moment that was actually there. But
even you had a fanboy moment.
100%. 100%. Because I watched Dilwale in the 80 Galaxy. I remember buying a ticket for 350 rupees. Then I went and took my father, and I put all my pocket money in one day into watching the film. And then I took my father to watch it the next day, who doesn't watch Hindi films. And he's like, "Why are you getting me to watch?" But I was like, "No, you have to see this film." And I said, "I want to know how do you make this?" And he said, "That's a director." And that's what he told me your uncle does. And because I was 12 or 13 years old. And that's what I understood what director is. But Adi sir was some 24 or 22 or 23 years old when he made it. And I said, "No, this is what I want to do." So it was a big fanboy moment when I met him. But I think when he sits and he chats with you, he becomes like a unit member, you know. He becomes like one of those, when he chats with you about, "Oh yeah, okay, I get it, I understand. Oh, wow, okay." He's a great guy to have on your team, man, I think. His talk was very liberating post what he saw the film and how he felt about it and how he appreciated the film. So I think it's shifted from fanboy to someone that you really look up to. It's been reassuring, but at the same time very supportive, I think, as a role that he's played.
Wow. Okay, so people talk about you and Emraan Hashmi, but I think you and Kunal Khemu are also very interesting.
We never had a flop actually.
Because with Kalyu, you showed him in one light, and then in Mallang you showed him literally the exact opposite side.
He's a hard actor. He's one of the best actors I've ever worked with ever. And when I was doing that role for Mallang, we were going through casting issues. Even Aditya's role was not sure whether he should do it or not, but we were always sure this role of Michael had to be Kunal Khemu. So I never took that. I mean, remember all the actors that I went to, they all kept asking, "Who's playing that role?" And I said, "That role's not in the contention because this is Kunal Khemu." So studios change, producers change, actors change, but that role always remained Kunal Khemu. Because I knew, that role was very difficult to do.
Yeah.
Because, there's a very thin line where people could laugh.
Yeah.
And Kunal maintained the seriousness of that character, keeping him as an aggressive, misogynistic, male who can't take this insult. So it was a very layered character, and I think I could only trust my strong Avenger, Kunal, I think.
Because for me, Kunal is like Hame Rahi Pyar Ke,
Yeah.
then Zakham,
No. There's no role
And
that
then
Kunal,
there is
there's no role that Kunal Khemu can't do. I'm telling you. There is no role that Kunal Khemu cannot do. He's such a fabulous actor.
he also is like one hit away, like how Emraan Hashmi, like
Yeah. I mean, but he directs also now.
Yeah,
and
now
he
he's
does
director
doing
also.
everything. So it's amazing. Yeah.
I was going to ask you something. I just forgot it right now. But is Alia Bhatt feature in your scheme of things that one day we'll go with Alia?
Always. But you have to understand one thing. I think Alia is such a phenomenal actor. Remember when I see her work in Gully Boy or Gangubai? One of her films that I'm really a fan of is Humpty Sharma.
Yeah.
However, she's really good, and I know a lot of people do appreciate her. But we've done that kind of drama in Vishesh films and stuff like that. So drama is not difficult. But when I saw in Humpty, I was like, this is not what Alia's ever lived. This is just her acting. Because I've seen her since she's born and all. So yeah, I'm a big fan of Alia Bhatt, and I genuinely feel I can never ever misuse the relationship I have with her, being her cousin. Unless I have a role that is good enough, I would never risk the relationship that we have. There's nothing wrong about going wrong with the role.
Yeah.
But unless I have a part that justifies the tremendous actor that she is, not the star.
Yeah.
The actor that she is, I would not. I would only go to her then.
But were you aware that she had acting plans as a career?
Always, as a kid, always. Since she was like 6 years old, we knew she wanted to act.
Yeah?
Yeah, we always knew. I remember in 2005, I don't know how old she was. I remember Wo Lamhe Wo Baatein, the remix video had come out. And but some obviously didn't understand it because he's like, what have you done to the song?
Yeah.
But it was Alia who told him that no, it's damn good and it's really nice. And she had that aptitude even at that time. So, but subsequently, if these young people like it, means it's really good. Because she was always super commercial ever since that time. But I remember we used to go out for dinners when they saw the film in North Bombay Society, a building, and opposite that was JW Marriott. So if they liked the film, Bhatt Sahab would take us out for dinner to JW Marriott. And then Alia and Sony would come over, come for it and all. And I remember once in those old Nokia phones, I saw Alia looking really pretty next to a lamp, those candle lamps and all. I took out my phone to click a picture. And she said, oh, what are you doing? What are you doing? So I said, no, I'm just looking really pretty. I want to click a picture. She said, no, you're clicking the wrong side. And then she put her dimple side out. And this is when she was, I think, 9 or 10 years old. I'm not sure. 8 years old. I'm not sure. But she always had it. She was very clear. Alia always wanted to be an actress, be a star.
Wow.
We always knew that. Yeah.
Okay, so I remember the question. Malang 2, what's happening with Malang 2? Because Anirudh Guha was writing, I don't know, at one point.
Anirudh Guha was never writing.
Was the first part.
He was a part of it till one point, and then most of it was written by Asim.
Okay.
He wrote it till one point till in the beginning, but the writer of the film was Asim.
Yeah.
But yeah, the thing is about making a sequel, it always has to be. I mean, I want to work with Love. He's one of the most cool, creative minds I've ever hung out with. And unless we have a script that is well enough, I don't think we'll jump into it. But if Love is hearing, I'm always available.
Again, that film had some massive music. Man.
Yes.
Great music. It still lingers around.
Yes.
In nooks and corners of the system.
Yeah, I mean, no pressure, but yeah, music will have to be better the next time, I think.
But with you and the music again comes back in all conversations. How deep do you have to dig to get that music out in you? Because you can't be because I don't remember an album of yours which has not worked.
Yes, I mean, in the long run, they've all worked. When they released, they didn't at that time. So maybe it was Crook or something. But
yeah, but that's like one of you.
Yeah. No, but Crook also has Mere Bina, which even till today, have people singing that song and stuff like that. Yeah, music is like that. I mean, I worked in one of these independent labels also, in the sense, I started a label with my friend Vineet Thakkar for Universal Music called Viral at one time.
Yeah.
And at that time, we realized that the way songs have to be made is you have to keep living, reliving and stuff like that. But the only solution to that is constantly tap new people because they're living life at the grassroots level and having those kind of emotions and stuff like that. So I think, it means a lot to me. And I think the only way it stayed fresh and alive is because it's been connected to new people, launching one new person in every film.
You've done so many in this.
Yeah, there's Fahim who's new, there's Rish who's new. The Rishabh, Kant is done, Barbad, the song.
Yeah.
These are all new guys, man, and they're probably doing their first Bollywood film.
Okay. How do you deal your equation with box office? Because today everything is numbers, everything, because before I met you, I was discussing with someone the numbers for Sitaare Zameen Par. Like how
I have no idea what the numbers was.
No, I'm saying today everyone is so clued in with the numbers. How do you, as a director who's delivered 100 crore hits as well, how do you look at box office equation?
Well, I think it's very, very, very important to the effect of, yeah, I've been making films for 20 years and I can confidently say that I've never lost money for anyone. The fact that I've survived 20 years,
Yeah.
even if the film is not done well, according to the box office, they've all made at least a good 20%, 10% on table.
Which is a very good profit to have in any business.
Yes,
right
in any
now.
business. But that was something that comes from being from a producer family. We were told and taught that at the day of release, there should be at least an AC that comes into the producer's house. What my grandfather said.
Yeah.
An AC was a sign of luxury.
Yeah.
So basically, he said it should be a plus experience. So to cut a long story short, I think that's what keeps you. So box office numbers become important because I honestly love what I do. I've been doing it for 20 years and I want to do it for at least 10 or 20 years more. And in that process, to make sure that happens, I have to make money for people.
Yeah.
And that's where box office numbers come in. But no matter what your number is in your previous film, it's like if you scored a century in your previous match, there's no guarantee when you come on the pitch again, will you not get out a duck.
Yeah.
So as long as you remember that, there's a tendency to believe, yes, if you have a form, the form tends to go on for a couple of matches.
Yeah, like purple patch.
Till you have a purple patch. But form comes and goes. Consistency is what you need to maintain.
How do you sustain 20 years? What's the recipe to sustain 20 years?
Keep believing that each time you go to the crease, you could get out a duck. So make sure you work hard each time. That's all.
Have you ever like say, हाँ मैं कर लूँगा? Like has there ever been a point wherein you were like unsure of the script, but like हाँ मैं कर लूँगा?
No, never. I've never gone into a film in these 14 films that I've thought I can do it without being. Yeah, I've gone wrong.
Yeah, see, very wrong is
Going
fine.
wrong is fine, but I've since gone uninterested. No, never. I don't want to. I want each day to have those butterflies in my stomach. Have those days where you're fighting with the production, fighting with the thing. Not for anything else. It keeps you alive. Till the day the fighting stops,
But
that means
does
the
Mohit
passion.
Suri still have to fight?
Yeah, every day. You should ask my producer. Fight is never for myself.
Yeah.
Fight is to give the film. And yeah, when you always want more, yeah. No matter how much they give you. I'm sure even James Cameron had budget issues in Avatar 2.
I'm sure.
No
No one also will have issues.
100%. Everyone has budget issues. We all want more. Yeah.
Okay. So what's next for you, Mohit? Now, have you planned anything right now?
I haven't really decided. I mean, there's a script, an idea I have that I've begun to write. But again, a love story, but this time a far more violent love story.
That's a new angle.
That's the new one, yeah. The far more violent, yeah.
Wow. I'm liking that violent love story.
I don't know how many people will like that, but yeah, I'm writing that now.
No, but people are like, come on, I mean, just to think alike, people are like now. Does that because people love action films so much of late? That's
Yeah,
that's how
there's a
violent-
difference between action and violence.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's an aggression love story. But we've had films like Tezab, we've had films like that kind of genre. I'm trying to write something in that genre now.
Wow. Okay. Mohit, thanks a lot for
Thank you so much,
of your time. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Same here. Pleasure's all mine.